Hello everybody. Thank you to be here. We just wait 1-2 minutes just to let everyone enter in the webinar for today. So please just a few minutes of waiting, and then we can start this webinar. So today we are going to talk about the result of this research that we are doing every year, that is called Barometer of the Privacy. Just give you some insight while we are waiting for the others. The barometers will be out in a few weeks, but today we can see together some of the insight that we have found during our study. Okay, one minute more because I see some people are entering now. I see that there are many people coming from different countries. So that's also interesting topics, because we know that even if there is one specific law for Europe at least, and I see there is also some UK people that have probably different regulation, but anyway, even for the same Europe Union, every country has its own interpretation of the law and different guidelines. So it's also interesting to see this point that we'll see in the next slide. But I think we can start. So welcome everybody. Hello everyone. As we say, today we are talking about the insight that we have found during our research of the privacy barometer. And I am Andrea, and I am the international business director. And with me there is Grazia.
Hi everyone. Yes, my name is Grazia Corsare. I'm head of professional service in Commander Act.
And let's go to see now our agenda. So, few words about the methodology of the research, the insight of the barometers. Then we will have the key finding and best practice. So some suggestions, some what we have found actually on the market, depending on different banners. And we will explain you a program that we are launching that can be interesting, but I let you see the webinar before, and then we will talk about this. And then there is a question and answer. As you can see, there is a question tab or a chat tab. I would suggest you write the questions during the webinar, and we will take care about them after, when we finish our presentation. So just feel free to make any questions, and we try to answer all of them. And in case we will write the answer via mail directly if there is no time. But I think, and yes, there will be a reply of this is the first question. There is a reply of the webinar just after. So if you don't have time or you have to leave it before, no problem. You can receive the reply. Okay, so let's start with the methodology.
Yes, thank you, Andrea. So let's start speaking about the methodology that our data analysis team used to make this research, this study. In Commander's Act, this is the fourth edition of Privacy Barometer, since we support the customer management platform customer. the content management platform customer. We support them to analyze the market because we know that the market is in a very changing environment due to the new regulation of the privacy policy. In particular, this study covered 258 banners in French market in the first month of this year. The banners belongs to the main sector of activity in digital market as our customer does. This study in particular was pushed more and more by the new regulation of French Data Protection Authority that asked to French company to be compliant within the end of March. So, of course, the figures that we present now are not directly connected to a single or particular company, but we want to present to you the main best practice we find, we underlined to show you some advice, some suggestion about this moment, because we have to take in consideration that the result we obtain now have to be compared with the past with caution, because the environment, the market, as we said, is changing. And of course, the result of yesterday are not valid today, and maybe the result of today can be valid in the future. For this reason, other studies will come based on the new regulation if necessary. Our teams are at your disposal to assist you. As Andrea said, we will speak later to optimize your strategy. Yes, I have.
Okay, thank you, grazie. So moving to the next slide. Few points on the opt-in rate. As Grazia said, we are talking about mainly a research on the French market, even if this is, we think, anyway, interesting or significant, because the French there is one of the most strictly regulation, so make a lot of sense to see what's going to happen. As we can see, most brands have developed a blocking banner to require an explicit choice to continue browsing the site. So in this case, you cannot navigate without give a explicit consent or not consent to the site. And the metric is taking care about the users that have make a preference, so not the one that have closed the banner without any choice. And of course, from this, there is not also any kind of bot bounce visit or non-human traffic that are totally excluded by this part. To enter now inside some of the numbers we were talking. Oh, sorry, I clicked twice. Okay, so opt-in rate. We have seen that since this new rules guide that has been issued. For instance, in Italy also there has been this kind of rules that was issued this year in January this year. But we are talking about what's happened during 1 year before in France. We have seen anyway a decrease in opt-in rate. So from 80% in 2021 to 82% in the mobile, and in the desktop again another decrease from 81% to 74%. One of the important things when we see this kind of decrease of consent, it's the idea to optimize at the best and try and see how to reach the best performance, changing different graphic aspect of the site. Let's try to go now a little bit deeper on what is the industry that we are monitoring, and we see that actually there is a slight difference industry by industry in the desktop area. We arrived to top consent in energy utilities and in travel and tourism, and the less it's on B2B and corporate. And we can see anyway an average 74% of opt-in. And remember, this number is excluding the one that are closing the site without give any choice. That means no choice, of course, but in this case, without any choice. Maybe Grazia want to have a look at the mobile.
Yeah, on the mobile segment, we have average of 80%, so it's quite higher than the desktop segment, but the trend is almost the same. So we have the top sector is the retail and distribution, while we have a low result for media and entertainment, but as you can see, the difference between one sector and the other is not so significant. Pay attention that this number refers not to application surf, so application mobile, but to the website surfing on mobile device.
Okay, thank you. So I think we can say now that there is one interesting data. So we should expect something around 70% of winner rate. If this is below, probably it's something that need to be taken in consideration. This is a threshold, market threshold that we have seen among our customers. Of course, as I said before, can be different country by country. We are speaking about France, where is a very strictly regulation. In Italy, the same. We have a very similar regulation, and we have seen a consistent of data, as we said before, very similar data. And 70% of people that are giving the consent or rejecting the consent, it's a interesting value and can be reached with a right way to manage the banner. And exactly on this side, we will see now some example and some idea that we have find in the customer we have analyzed. So now we can start to analyze the several models, please.
Yes, so here we put three models of successful banner. The best performers is the one on your left. You can see here we have two buttons, one accept all and another continue without accepting. Here it's important to notice that this banner is perform better than the one that use the cross to close without accepting, or that use words like refuse or reject. So using a button with continue without accepting give you the possibility to have a higher opt-in rate. Of course, we notice that when the button accept all is underlined with colors or with stylish, the opt-in rate increase more. Another option is the the one you see in the middle, where there is not a button in the classic position that the user expects, but there is a link on the top or in another position of the banner with the continue without accepting. Generally speaking, this is good for the guarantee. Of course, each country, you have to check if in your country is the same, but if you can, it's a good advice to put this button or this link in a different position. Of course, but we know this from the last regulation is not possible to consider the simple scroll of the user as an acceptation action. We can't apply the cookie wall like take it or leave it, because the guarantor says that the user has to make an active action to declare their choose. So it's important to put a button or a link and ask an active action to the user. The third um, banner you see here on the right as a free button, refuse, configure and accept. And even if this is not the top performer, we wanted to put here to present you because it's one of the most used. And we notice that the opt-in remain high if it is used by a brand that has a very high quality image. Otherwise, we suggest to use the other model.
Yes, that's interesting. One of the important part is that we say that you have always to ask to your DPO about the complying with the local law. That's very important, and to stay strictly adapted on what the DPO is saying, because everyone has a different interpretation of the law, but also every country may have different guidelines of this. There is a question now I see in the chat about Mathieu asking about the colors, about the how to manage this. I know, for instance, in Italy, it's a request to have the same graphic format, but in France, I know it's a little bit different. The request is to have the same condition to accept or refuse the consent. So the same rule can be slightly different country by country. So it's important that whatever you do, it's anyway approved by your DPO that has to define the policy of your company on this.
Yes, the purpose of the privacy barometer is to give you data that you can use with your marketing team and your legal department to find the best solution that is compliant with the law but can obtain the best opt-in. So about the color, we make some we have some element about this because of course color coding remain an important element. It allows you to underline your accept button when it is possible. And just words about the red color, because even if it is in the palette of your brand, it's better to not use it because as expected it is a signal, interpreted as a signal of warning. So we register that when red is used, the opt-in follow down. So choose another stylish, uh, another color.
Yes. What now we have talked about simple banner, but large company or even medium large company maybe has some um, uh, how can I say some different kind of construction of the site, some multi-site, multi-domain, multi-subdomain. And one of the important things is to keep everything very, very simple. For instance, not to ask with the too many clicks or to show too much times the banner. We have seen some site that when you move from different section of the site, they ask again to give the consent if you have already given or not given, or the multi-domain or multi-subdomain site that asks several times when you move from one to another to have the consent. This is a bad practice because we have seen that increase the, the refuse of the consent, but also increase a lot the bounce rate. So the customer can at some point be annoyed with this behavior and then leave the site. So it's not good at all. We say that two important things: make it simple for sure, and also make it clear. Make it clear. It's for instance that if you have a multi-subdomain site on the banner, you have to explicitly say that you are giving the consent for all the multi-domain site or domain site, and so this is another important point in case you have a structured organization of all your domains and your properties. So that's also to take in consideration quite a lot.
Yes. Sorry. Last year we made some A/B test. We had an A/B test program with some customer, and so what we noticed is that user that doesn't accept, doesn't like when catchphrases or cookie jokes were used. So we suggest always to use classic tone for the title. Just in some case, we noticed that when the creative department was able to find the right connection between the brand characteristic and the topic privacy, it was appreciated by the user. So in this case, the opt-in rate increase. For this reason, we suggest you, if you want to make some different choice, we suggest you to use an A/B test to validate your style, your choice, and otherwise, if you can't, if your DPO doesn't consent you, if there is any technical reason to not do this, we recommend our recommendation is to use a classic tone that is always valid.
Yes, before to go on the
So,
next.
Andrea.
No problem. Maybe I see there is some question I would like to answer. So Lorenzo is asking if the setup button is necessary. You don't see in the first two example. Actually, the setup button can be also linked. So in the two example, maybe they are not explicit written, but inside the text you can put the link to enter in the privacy center and decide which are the cookie that you want to accept or not in case. And again, I would say just check with your DPO how the policy of the company want to manage this. And then Usama, it's asking if it's okay to configure privacy center when you click on refuse, or should I refuse all button stuff? Refuse is a refuse for the last understanding of the concept. So if you refuse, refuse all the content. If you want to enter in the privacy center, must be written configure or something similar. There is no specific wording that is say use this word exactly, but the concept must be this. For instance, we have seen some customer have used the word reject on the cookies, and this is causing a lot of drop of consent, while another wording can be different and more effective in increase the consent of this. So even the word is important. That needs to be tested by you, of course. And anyway, as I said, and I said a lot of time, but it's important just always check with the DPO about all the legal implication of this, and if it's correct with the policy of your companies. Um, so let's see if there is the question. I will say that we can go on the next slide. Let's go on the optimization program. Actually, we are. You can see on the link. There is a link on the slide, and there is also a banner coming out now. We are after this kind of analysis, we think to make our optimization program, so to make one step more, not only giving the result of the analysis, but also to give a concrete help to the customer that would like to ask us and to involve our consultant to work on this. So to give some advice on this program. Grazie, I don't know if you want to say something more about this.
Yes, our consultant team work with the customer to, as we say, to find the best solution. We have already studied three different models that we can propose to you, or we can study together um, uh, option, and we can do different A/B tests to be sure which is the best solution for you, speaking with your legal department that can give us the main indication they want we respect. And yes, the goal, the purpose is to have the best opt-in rate to allow you to collect data as you desire.
Yes, exactly. We try. We have gained a lot of experience in this year. We are working with really a lot of site, large, medium, also some small site, and with this experience, we would like to help also customers that would like to enter in this program. So you can just click and compile a form, and we will get in touch soon about this. So I see if there is any other question, but I think we have answered to all of them. Actually, as we said, you will receive reply of the webinar, and also the people that couldn't attend. Maybe there is some colleague of yours can enter in the reply. No problem. I think. Let's see if there is some more question, if we have finished. Yes, no, I don't see any other question. Before to say hello, I would like to remember that Commander Sat it's presenting also the new platform, and we are concentrated on three main topics. One is the server-side tagging, another one is the attribution models, and the third one is the customer data platform. So if you are interested in one of these topics, please feel free to contact us, and we will give you the information or the demo and everything that you may get. Can we have the link? So Alexis is asking if we can have the link of the program. We will send you by mail to all of you. Don't worry, you will receive the link for this. Florentine is asking, did you test to put the reject link on other position? Left corner. We can check this if some of our customer has done it. We can talk with our consultant team and come back to you. Actually, there is not a specific position from the guidelines. So probably someone will have done the test. Anyway, interesting to have this. And I see that also the link is now in the question tab. So if you are interested in the link for the program, you can enter in the question tab, and we have entered the link. Perfect. Also in the chat, yes, you have also in the chat the link. Let's give some second if something is any other questions. No, it seems not. So, Grazia, thank you very much for your contribution. It was a pleasure.
Thank you to you.
And thank you, everyone. And hope to get in touch again with you. And we hope that the webinar can be helpful for everyday job on this topic. So thank you very much, and bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.